OMG
BBG! What's up, BBGs? Get hyped up because we have a Superking or a Sparking unboxing for you. If you guys haven't already, make sure you go check out the Super Hyperion unboxing that Steven did just a little bit ago. We got that video up too. Now we have King Helios. This is Hikaru's Bay, the left spinning balance type. This one is apparently the older brother, but like I don't know if they're twins or not, or if they got like an age gap. But either way, Hikaru, my guy, his bay looks sick. So it's a whole new system now, guys. The parts are totally different. Well, mostly anyways. So we'll show you guys that once we actually open that all up. This bay is pretty neat because it has a mode change feature. It can go from like a 5-blade to a 10-blade mode. So that's pretty awesome. We'll explore that a little bit later. But yeah, overall, just brand new series, brand new anime that's coming out. You guys, let me know down in the comments. Are you guys hyped up for this new series or what?
Yeah, man, this is pretty exciting. And the anime having two main characters and they're both brothers, it's like our life.
Yo, word up though. It feels like, yo, this whole series is finally made to this point. We're like, yo, we can relate so hard. Beyblading brothers. Dude, just taking over the Beyblade world. Man,
exactly.
Sick. So sick. So let's take a look at the back of the box. The very first thing we have is KH1B. So starting at the very top here, we have the Helios Sparking chip, which also has a Sparking chip core, alright? So this is like the replacement for the Gachi chip that you guys saw in the previous season in Beyblade Burst GT. The variation now with the Sparking chip is pretty awesome because when we first got that Gachi chip, that was already pretty neat. It introduced a brand new part, and now the Sparking chip can actually be interchanged again. It can be split between two parts within itself. You have the Sparking chip and the Sparking chip core. So the customizing is going to be endless. Moving on down, we got that King ring. So this is like the bottom piece of the layer. This is pretty much like the base of the new Sparking system. Moving down, another brand new piece, we got that chassis, guys. So chassis is kind of like your disc. It's pretty awesome because chassis have two different types now. You got that single chassis, which you can actually add a disc on top of that. So if you have those older discs that you still want to use, you have to use that with your single chassis parts. Just like the one that we get here, this is 1B, one balance. This is a double chassis part. So double chassis, you cannot take it apart. You cannot add another disc to it. It's a standalone part. This is what you have to use with your combo.
But the double chassis parts are super special. It's like super thick and it's got its own like design, so.
Yeah, it's like this is a newer part, so it looks really cool. And a familiar part, we got the driver, guys. So the driver's been consistent this whole time throughout the Beyblade Burst series. This one in particular is called Zn. So it is supposed to be a more balanced version of the driver that you see in Super Hyperion. Super Hyperion's got like a similar shape. It's also free spinning, but it's more aggressive. So it's going to be really interesting to see the differences here. Before we unbox this Sparking Bay, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel and turn on those notifications. Thanks so much for the support.
Let's see what we got.
Sweet. Love the blue theme. Ooh, and we got another Tick Boy, man. Wow. It's one balance chassis. Real thick. And the driver. Oh, wow. Yeah, it looks like... Dude, the designs are almost identical to to the Exceed driver. It's just not rubber in the center from what I can tell. We'll have to dive a little bit deeper, but right off the bat, first impression, it looks very similar, almost identical.
It's got the free spinning disc.
Yeah, they're not brothers for no reason. I mean, look at that. That's sweet. So before we put the stickers on, let's take a look at all of the parts. We're gonna go over the very top piece of the layer first. So that part contains the ring and the Sparking chip. So in order to remove the Sparking chip, you guys, if you take a look here, there's two tabs on each side. You have to twist the Sparking chip to unlock it. Then you can pull it apart. That will remove it from the ring. Then afterwards, you can remove the Sparking chip core from the Sparking chip by doing something similar. Basically just press down, unclip it, and then you guys can pull apart the Sparking chip core. It is a little bit finicky though because like some of them are different sizes. They're pretty big, so you have to like twist and remove it. But yeah, from the looks of it though, this particular Sparking chip core, when you compare it to the ones that we already have, it's actually thicker. So it could be a slightly heavier as well. So we'll do a comparison later on. But yeah, not all of the designs are the same for your Sparking chip core. So there will be purposes basically to customizing this part. All right, let's put back the Sparking chip into our ring. Just gonna have to get used to it. You have to be very precise when you're putting it into those little holes there to lock it in. Then I'll have to like twist twist it to lock it. There we go. But yeah, let's take a look at the design here. So right off the bat, you guys can tell right away, the King ring is definitely not as aggressive as the Super ring that you saw in the other release. It does have 5 larger blades, nowhere near as attack oriented as the other release. Then you have like 5 other super small ones right beside them. So very fitting for a balance type. It's not meant to be super aggressive like an attack type would be. It's gonna have a mode change, so we gotta explore that. It's gonna be pretty cool.
And this is also a left spinning bay only.
Yeah, exactly. Left spin, like a main character with a left spin bay. We haven't seen that since, what was it? Dragoon, basically. So very interesting that Beyblade Burst main character has a left spin bay right off the bat.
True.
Let's move on over and talk about this one balanced chassis. So I think it's really cool. It kind of has like a star shape to its design. It's very thick, right? It has like that kind of like a disc and frame built in together. The wings on this one though, as you guys can see, since it is star shaped, it has like 5 points that are obviously protruding more than the others. And that is what we're actually going to use to line up with the ring to get our 5 or 10 wing modes.
The chassis part of the bay is way bigger than the top of the bay now.
Yeah, and on the backside of the chassis is the teeth for the bay. So this is where your driver is going to be locking into, and this will determine how easy it will be to burst this particular combination.
It's no longer on the layer itself.
If you guys take a look at the bottom side of the chassis, the metal parts, you can actually move it. So that's where the driver would actually lock in, and you would still twist your driver to lock in the entire combination.
Yeah, the chassis is kind of like the disc, and when you combine it with the chip and the ring, that's when you'll get the actual layer itself.
Last but not least, let's take a look at that zone driver, guys. So I'm actually mind blown by how similar this design is compared to that Super Hyperion one. So it does have like an outer ring that kind of has like these cutouts on it. It's free spinning, and then it has like a thinner tube with a kind of sharp tip coming out of the middle.
Yeah, the inside tip is just like slightly longer than Super Hyperion.
Yeah, so Super Hyperion, it had a flat rubber tip, versus King Helios, it has a plastic tip, and yes, it has a very slight point to it. Okay, so let's put on the stickers, and then we'll put the whole bay together and explore that mode change. Let's see what the gimmick's like. Alright, stickers are all on, so of course let's put together the whole bay. Now, quick little note before we put everything together though. This ring right here is actually left spinning only, and the chassis, the 1B chassis, is LR. So you can use this in left and right spinning combinations, okay? So quick little note there.
And it says right on top of that design, it says L and R. It stands for left and right.
Yep, so you guys can see the designations in the 2 different spots there. So on the metal portion, you'll see the name of it, 1B. And then on the plastic portion, you'll see LR. So yeah, you have 2 different spots that you can look at to get some information.
So make sure you grab the right chassis if you're planning on making a specific spin direction.
So let's put together the whole bay now. The system is different, so you're not going to be doing any twisting right off the bat. You just take the layer, put it on top of the chassis, and then you just basically push down and it should lock in. There you go, just push down. And that's it. This is your layer now. Look at that. And to take it apart though, actually, you just peel it apart. So really simple, it's nice, it feels like very purposeful. And then let's put on the driver. Now this is where you do the twisting. Put the driver in, and then you twist it, and you'll see the disc move.
You mean the chassis?
The chassis move, technically. It's the disc inside the chassis, and then there you go. Whole bay together. And that's King Helios for you guys, the left spinning balance type. What do you guys think? Do you guys like King Helios more or Super Hyperion? Let us know down in the comments, alright? Let's take a look at the mode change, guys. So, like we said earlier in this video, this has a 5-wing and a 10-wing mode, alright? So, you actually change the orientation of the chassis. That determines which mode you're in. So like I was saying earlier, there's 5 specific wings on the chassis. They're not very large wings, but you'll see them. They're very obvious. Now, depending on how you position them, that'll determine your mode. So if you line up the wings of the chassis with the large wings that are on the ring, that will be your 5-wing mode. So I'm just going to try and line it up like this, push down, from a top-down view, like that. you guys will see that the ring, the big wing on the ring will line up with the wing on the chassis, just like that.
Just fuse together.
Yeah, so basically when you get hit at that point, you're gonna get hit with both of them right there. That's your 5-wing mode. So if you take apart the entire layer and you twist or you move the rotation of the chassis just slightly, and then you lock it back in, when you change up the view like that, you guys will notice it right away. The wing on the chassis is now in between the big wings of the ring. This is your 10-wing mode. So you got 1, 2, 3 like that, 4, 5, and it goes all the way around, and you guys will be able to count 10 very obvious wings.
So 5 of them from the ring and 5 of them from the chassis.
Yep, so those are your main point of contact. Technically, there's like 15 because, you know, the ring actually has like these little guys up there, but I mean, that's not going to be doing very much work. But yeah, that is your 2 modes, your 5 and your 10-wing positions. Now let's weigh the bay. Let's find out how much King Helios weighs.
And then we'll do a test spin and test battle. 58.17 grams. So actually lighter than the other bay.
Yeah, it's actually lighter than Super Hyperion. Super Hyperion was over 60, so very interesting. The left spinning bay has some less weight. So wow, can't wait to see them in the battle. Let's go, King Helios test spin. Gotta use our left spin launcher. Oh wow, look at that.
A lot more stable.
Yeah, totally different from Super Hyperion, man. Does not move around the stadium as much, but I bet if you launch it angled or once you start battling, it might get pretty quick.
Yeah, it is a balance type after all, so some attribute in aggressiveness and some defensive capabilities there.
Yeah, man, the balance types, they always remind me of Shu and Spriggan, so all about that balance, man. They're great bays. So yeah, let's do it. Let's do test battles.
Alright, first up, you're going up against Zwei Longinus.
Wow, left spin versus left spin.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, huge attacks.
So older bays, it's still good. You don't throw them away quite yet. Okay, you got Wizard Fafnir. 3, 2, 1. Oh, bursted. It's pretty sick. Alright, next up we have Chozy Spriggan. 3, 2, 1. I feel like we haven't seen a burst in a long time from the newer bays.
Yeah, King Helios is pretty passive with this setup. It's very interesting. Oh,
Nice.
Dude,
Spin finish.
Yeah, I actually thought that I was gonna lose there again, but survived for a bit.
Alright, I got Regalia Genesis. 3, 2, 1. Oh, electric driver just pushed through off the edge there.
Genesis, still super good.
Prime Apocalypse is next. 3, 2, 1.
Oh no! Not enough attack power to knock out Prime Apocalypse.
So you guys can see the older bays are still doing pretty well actually. Master Diabolos, left spin mode. 3, 2, 1.
What was going on? King Helios picked up speed right off the bat, and then wow.
This is kind of embarrassing. King Helios keeps losing.
Yeah, I mean, like, the parts themselves are, you know, they're not overpowered, that's for sure.
So which is a good thing.
Alright, BBGs, that is it for our unboxing on King Helios, the left spinning bay that's owned by Hikaru, one of the main characters of Beyblade Burst Sparking. Let us know down in the comments, do you guys like King Helios more, or do you like Super Hyperion more? Are you a blue team? Are you on team blue or on team red? Let us know. Overall, this combo isn't like super overpowered or anything like that. Your GT bays will still be pretty competitive when you're battling against these new bays, which is a good thing, I guess, right? Those old bays are not obsolete just yet. But yeah, that's pretty much it, okay? Let us know what you guys think of Beyblade Burst Sparking bays. And stay tuned because we have a lot more coming, alright? And as always,
Geeks out.